Chances are, if you're someone who wants to level up or increase your performance, you've probably heard of the 10,000 hour rule. It was first proposed by writer Malcolm Gladwell in his 2008 book Outliers. The rule states that to become an expert in your field, you need to put in 10,000 hours of practice or work. Sounds tough, but simple enough. But it's also wrong. And today's video is going to explain why this is wrong and what actually is the true key to achieving excellence. You see, Malcolm Gladwell based this theory off the work of Anders Ericsson, a psychologist who is renowned as being the expert in understanding experts. In his work on elite musicians, Ericsson found that yes, those who do reach the top end up having to put in thousands and thousands of hours into their craft. But what Gladwell didn't pick up on was that a lot of other near elite musicians also often put in a similar number of hours of practice. There could be some who put in the required 10,000 hours yet remain not good enough to actually reach the top. And then some who put in a couple of thousand hours less into the same craft yet somehow reach the top. So why is this? And if you're going to say talent, then you're wrong. Ericsson found that talent had no significant impact on whether individuals reach the elite level. In many cases, talent can actually be a hindrance because it fosters complacency. We've all seen this with athletes or other performers who burst onto the scene but very quickly fade after a couple of years. What matters when it came to becoming an expert was not how many hours an individual puts in, but how those hours were actually spent, and specifically being spent on what Ericsson ended up calling deliberate practice. So what is deliberate practice? Simply put, deliberate practice is practice which is intentional. There are clear intentions surrounding how practice aligns to one's specific skill or performance-related goals. There is a significant emphasis on how to understand and implement feedback, and it is about getting outside of one's comfort zone to master tough skills that are just out of reach of one's existing skill level. But isn't that what all performers do? Well, no. When you actually unpick the habits of most performers, you actually start to see that they engage in what can be termed just practice, because they end up just perpetually repeating the same skills, routines, and movements. They coast, they go through the motions, they maintain, but they don't necessarily improve. Again, if you think about it, a lot of top performers probably end up falling into this bracket because they're maybe one or maybe two hit wonders. They come out of nowhere and they do great things. But in any high performance domain, what you've got to realize is that people are always coming for you. So the things that you're doing today are not necessarily going to keep you at the top in 2, 3, 4 or 5 years' time. So how can I be more deliberate in my practice? First, follow proven techniques. Read the books of the top coaches and performers in your field. Watch the growing library of YouTube tutorials in your chosen craft, and subscribe to this channel. You don't have to reinvent the wheel, just do the stuff that 99% of others are not willing to do. Second, set specific goals within your practice sessions. It's not enough to say, I want to improve or get better. What top performers do is isolate singular specific skills and build upon those that feed into their overall performance. So instead of I want to improve my running form, state something like I want to improve my running form by being less stiff in my upper body so that I can maintain a 6-minute per mile pace for 5 miles. Specificity leads to focus, and focus leads to improvements. Now that's deliberate. Third, give full attention to the task at hand. Top performers don't casually do reps in between chatting with friends or checking out their phone notifications. So put away or minimize those distractions as much as possible. It's simple. Pay attention and skill improvement will be the return on that investment. Fourth, push yourself outside of your comfort zone. No one is thrilled to do this, but this is necessary. And the best way of doing this is by setting BAGs. Big, hairy, audacious goals. These are goals that you may only realistically have a 15 to 20% chance of reaching. And despite those high odds of not reaching the goal, you're going to improve your skills far greater than if you were to set a much safer goal. And fifth, develop a hunger for feedback. Top performers pester their coaches, trainers, or teammates on what they can improve on. After each practice, make sure you ask what you did well, so you can double down on this, but also what you didn't do so well, so that you can rectify this and have a specific focus in your next practice. And if you're training or practicing your own, take a second at the end of the practice to reflect on these questions yourself and write down some answers. It's a fantastic way of actually monitoring your progress and giving you a lot more focus within your practice. When it comes down to it, we've all heard the phrase quality over quantity. And the same rings true for deliberate practice. Yes, we do have to put in countless hours to reach the top of our game, but we're only going to guarantee success if those hours are deliberate and intentional. Thanks for watching. Let me know in the comments below which of the 5 techniques for deliberate practice you found most helpful. Give the video a thumbs up and do hit that subscribe button for more videos that will help you level up your mental performance, and I'll see you in the next one.